Boom.
Hello, one and all. Welcome to session 3 of Once More Into the Breach. I'm gonna be honest with all of you watching. That is, no, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Man, I'm not as prepared as I would like to be for this one, just because I was in traffic for the last hour.
Been there.
But
yeah,
we're gonna figure it out. Okay, I'm trying to think if we have anything we have to catch up from last time. But yeah, does anybody want to do a recap?
Wait,
Carl died.
Carl did die, that is true. Yeah, recap. Awesome put together combat. He was like, wow, this is going to be challenging because there's darkness, there's drow, there's shadow demons. Shadow demons are even better in the darkness. And then Davian cast sunlight and ruined the encounter.
The entire thing. Yeah.
The entire thing. Yeah.
It
got rid
was,
of the darkness and gave everything disadvantage for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, it was a very easy fight. It was a cakewalk.
I mean, cakewalk. I still took 14 hit points worth of damage.
Oh no! Listen, it should have been scary, and then one was.
Did you say Jim took some damage too? Jim did take some damage too. He took some damage when Zeph thunderstepped right next to him.
Saving Carl, okay?
Saving Carl, that's right.
Saving a Carl.
Saved a Carl.
Carl already died, so...
Sadly, some of the drow were also named Carl, so actually it was a bunch of Carls who died. It was really depressing.
Well,
we only care about the one Carl.
That's not true. Drow have cool names, like Sarah.
Lentulus.
Exactly.
Nerds.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. You guys went into the darkness. You guys got attacked by some glowing orbs of darkness that you didn't know what they were, and then suddenly you did know what they were in the course of one spell, and you mopped the floor with a couple of drow.
And we saved one.
And you did say, well, I have a question about that.
Yeah.
See, here's my question. I need to ask you guys about which rule supersedes another. Because Vitalia absolutely declared that she was doing non-lethal damage, right?
Correct.
But she was doing non-lethal damage with her sneak attack on somebody who was paralyzed. And he had 2 hit points left, and his max HP is 45. And she did, just with her sneak attack alone, 48 damage.
Ooh.
So my question is, if you say I'm doing unarmed damage, but you do enough to, like, full-on kill somebody without doing death saves, is that still unarmed damage? Like, is that... Is
it still non-lethal?
Is it still non-lethal damage?
That's a good question.
Don't you have to do enough damage to not only drop them, but then, like...
But from, like, max all the way down? Isn't that what it is?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Max is 45 for these guys, and he had 2 left.
So he would be at negative 46.
Yeah, no, he would be at negative 46.
What's the rule called? It's called something.
Some massive damage, death, something like that.
Massive damage.
The creature takes...
Yeah, I was trying to look it up, and I could not find which rule supersedes the other.
Equal to greater than half of its maximum.
Oh, yeah, so she well beyond did that. But you know what? It's still fine, because...
Technically, according to the rules, it does not specify the damage.
Exactly. It doesn't say it has to be non-lethal or lethal, so I think that trial is dead.
It's system shock.
So it's system shocked to death.
It's a system shock. It's not an instant death thing.
Oh, what is it? What is a system shock?
It's a DC 15 con saving throw or suffer a random effect determined on the system shock table.
Oh.
Is that D20 SRD, Casey?
What is that?
Beyond.
It's on what?
I'm on Beyond. D&D Beyond.
Is that a optional rule? I've never heard that rule before.
Yeah, I've never heard that rule either.
Yeah, system shock sounds like something from like 3rd edition.
It's an optional one.
Okay.
Oh, it's optional. Okay.
And mostly there's no instant death on that. So I don't know if they that out?
Because there was a massive damage rule. There was
Yeah.
just like,
I
if you
thought there
take
was.
Yeah, massive damage. I'm looking it up. Page 75 of the player's handbook says massive damage can kill you instantly. When you are reduced to 0 hit points and there's damage remaining, you die if the remaining damage equals or exceeds your hit point maximum. For example, a cleric maximum of 12 hit points currently has 6 hit points. If she takes 18 damage from an attack, she's reduced to 0, but 12 damage remains. Because the remaining damage equals her hit point maximum, the cleric dies.
Well, rip in peace.
Yeah, rip in peace.
Okay, well,
that would change a little bit of how the last little bit played out, but that's not the end of the world.
So I was listening to the last podcast on the last session on the drive home, and I don't really know how much would change, because I think it's just that question of like how long it takes for you to register, like, okay, is somebody unconscious or is somebody dead, right?
Yeah.
And I think, Vitalia, you definitely like flipped your hit somebody with the butt of your weapon. We're like, okay, cool, they're definitely out cold, but it's somebody who was paralyzed, so their brain like was unable to absorb any of the shocks. They're just fully dead.
I might have misjudged my power.
Yeah,
You're too strong.
yeah, Vitalia, as you go to you're like, I'm just gonna knock him unconscious, and as you do, you feel like a weird thing where suddenly there's something that like grows in the palm of your hand between your palm and your weapon. And you look at it and you see another metallic spider. As you got another soul token, soul trinket.
All right.
This guy who just died.
Well, oops.
So much for questioning the drow.
Get this little spider on my...
Oh, is it quite clear that the drow is very dead and not unconscious then?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
Okay.
In fact, it might even... Oh no, because he's in a force cage, right?
Well, I cast that after she knocked him unconscious, so if she knocked him dead, then whatever, I probably won't waste a spell slot on Wall of
Yeah,
Force.
you probably like think, I have to protect it, and then see
And then
that
it's like,
there's a big old dent in his head. So I'll let you
Yeah.
take that spell slot back if you want. That's
Okay, I'll do that.
If this had gone differently in
Does
the end,
Jim
I would
still-
be fighting you on this rule, but I'm not going to fight it because it didn't turn out the way I wanted anyway.
Yeah.
Listen, we can. I didn't know how it works, so we can. We can
No,
say
that's
that
fine.
he's still alive if we want. I just
No,
wanted
there's
to.
no
that's
reason.
totally
I wasn't
fine.
sure
Pointless now if
unarmed
Jim doesn't get to
damage
eat
over
him.
or not unarmed. Not
Fate still
lethal.
changed.
The other
It
one.
wasn't Jim killing him. It was Vitalia. So I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah. Okay, I guess the question is, Jim, now how do you react? I'll let you say whichever one you want. You don't have to roll.
I mean, which part am I reacting to at this point?
Yeah, the dude is fully dead.
Oh.
His skull's crushed in.
Well, people
Spoils the meat.
spoils the meat. I mean, there's guidelines,
Yeah.
have to be killed honorably with
Then
bare
you'd be
hands.
screaming while you eat them.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I was trained from birth or from hatch, so I could
Hatch.
rip 'em apart.
Absolutely. Can't use weapons. Have to eat them when they're alive.
Yep,
From a brood.
a brute. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure about the terminology on this one.
I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor.
Well, we have 4 dead drow on the row in front of us and 1 dead dwarf. What does the party do as they exit out of initiative and sort of look around and see where they are?
Well, gosh, I guess we should bury Carl.
Is that his last wishes? I asked Carl.
Other Carl is in shock. He's like, hey, what were those? I knew you can never trust an elf. What was this? Who are these? Well, he's just very much like going to be trying to put together his thoughts for a little bit. He's not battle hardened like the rest of you.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a commoner.
You can never trust an elf in a party of mostly elves.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So he sort of makes his way to the back of the cart. He's like breathing heavily, trying to keep himself from going into shock too much. He definitely says to himself, like, right, when I said I would come with you all on this journey, I never thought that. I thought I was just gonna get myself some golden gulp from Evergreen and return to town a hero. Not without Carl.
Well, you might still return to town a hero with your golden gulp.
Is it worth it for just a lousy gold piece a day?
That's your question. But think of it this way. How are you going to get back without us?
Let me ask you this. What's gonna happen to Carl's cut of the gold, eh?
The golden gulp?
No, the gold that you paid us to come here on this journey.
I already paid you.
You paid Carl as well.
Yeah, I feel bad about that.
Alright, claimed. He starts breathing a little bit easier.
He was so distraught until he realized he was getting the dead Carl's gold, and then everything was right again.
Well, if dead Carl has the gold on him, he's welcome to it.
Yeah.
If he thinks he's getting paid again, he's got another thing coming.
You got another thing coming.
I want to see if those boots fit you too.
Zephyrus, you were so in the heat of battle that I don't think you realized it until now. But when you, one of those drow cast a lightning bolt that would have hit all of your friends, except for the fact that you reached out your hand and like grabbed the lightning bolt out of the air and dispelled it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really realize until now that you guys have been going for the better part of a day. Like even outside of the darkness, it's probably nighttime. So you missed noon, and your amulet didn't go off.
Oh.
But hitting such a strong form of lightning, you realize now that you're out of combat that it is sparking, whether it's in your pocket again or around your neck, wherever it is sparking and lighting up.
All
All he
right.
has to do is do the ritual thing again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do the thing.
The thing?
The thing.
Pull it out.
He's going to take even more lightning damage.
That's right. You put your hands onto this
Trait on Crufix.
amulet.
I'm really excited to see what because you said there are, what, eight stars around the rim of this thing?
Or 10.
10, even better. Cool. Let's see how the damage increases for 2. Yep, that's kind of what I thought. Excited for Casey to take 10d6 points of lightning damage in a few days.
It's optional. It's up to you.
It's optional.
You take 3 points of lightning damage as slightly. It's not much, you know. Last time you took 1 point. This time it's moderately more.
Well,
You've dealt
Still 1 point.
all worse than this.
Oh, do you have lightning resistance?
Yeah, I have lightning.
Very nice. Oh, see, whatever. 10d6 lightning damage is nothing for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to have to start. It's going to have to grow exponentially for it to even be on your radar as a threat.
I'm getting back to 69 hit points. Yeah.
Nice.
Winning D&D again for a third time, Casey.
All right, everyone. Once again, thank you so much for joining. That's the end of our game.
Good night, everybody.
69 hit points. Hey, I've been your dungeon master, Austin. This has been a pleasure. Okay, great. You all watched that happen. Vitalia, you have a soul trinket, an additional one. You now have 2 for these drought. I want to point out that you kept one alive to try and interrogate it, but Vitalia, you know that one of the things that you can do with these soul trinkets is ask a question of the dead. You don't have to use it for that. There are other uses of it, but if you guys want to try and interrogate them, you have 2 possible ways to do that at the moment.
Yeah. And she only has so many she can hold at one time anyway, so
Yeah.
you know, that's up to her, though.
Yeah. What questions do you want to ask them?
I don't have any
All right,
questions.
Oh,
if no one has any interesting questions, we don't need to bother. But
well, I was gonna say maybe why did they attack us?
that is an partially interesting question.
What's going on with the darkness? Why are there shadow demons?
Let me look at my rules for questioning and see what kinds of information we
Valia
might
pulls out a
actually get out of
pamphlet.
this.
How to speak to the dead. Chapter 1.
Also, I have to
Prompts
say
a movie
that
persona.
after working with you all for a while and seeing you do a lot of really boring things, that was actually pretty awesome. You all are actually agents of death and murder, and I was pretty impressed.
Correction, I used to be one of those things.
I saw you out there, Jim. You can say used to all you like.
Thank you, I will.
All right.
While you're looking that up, Grace, Brucht comes back over to you guys. He is wearing a cloak that you previously saw being worn by one of the drow, and he is holding rations of this strange reddish pinkish mushroom that has these weird like pustules of like little pockets of goop or slime or something in it.
That looks disgusting.
Yeah, I think pass.
I've got food still, so I'm good.
Yeah.
He does say, well, this I have a wizard's cloak now, and he gives his cloak a flourish.
Very stylish.
Yeah. That. Wow.
Looks good on you, Brucht.
So
Totally excellent.
he investigated one of the drow to like loot them, see what they had on them. The rest of them are welcome to be looted if you would like.
Yeah, I'm a pirate.
Yeah. Sure. We can loot the drow. I mean, probably a good thing to be well stocked.
Great. Let's pull out the table again.
Yay!
I need 3 more D12 rolls.
3 more D12 rolls. Well, there are 3 of us, so
All in one.
there's 1.
Okay, you find a grappling hook, Zephyrus, on one of them. Oh, sorry. Davian, you're the one who finds a grappling hook. Zephyrus, you find a spider pendant, just like the one that Vitalia had created as tokens, as spirit tokens.
Here, this is for you.
Not as cool as mine. I bet it doesn't do anything important.
Yeah.
It doesn't. That's correct. You do find on each of these drow more cloaks, though. They're all wearing the same cloak that have the same like silver threading in it, in the shape of a spider web.
Silver cloak.
That'd be useful.
Yeah, could come in handy. Sure. Silver cloak.
David, hold on to it.
Spider thread.
Cool.
All right. Well, I guess I'll hold on to the spider pendant. Want it.
Do
And Steve's got to
Grace,
roll
do
a
one of you wanna
D12.
make me a D12 roll?
Oh,
Jim's not looting anybody, but I can roll still if you want.
No, that's okay. If you don't want to loot anybody.
Now,
Yeah,
Jim is
Oh,
entirely
look at you.
disinterested.
Wow.
roll the 12.
You have 1 + 1 dagger that you find. In addition to, they also
Gnarly.
do all of the mages, the drow mages have staffs, arcane focused staffs, and all of the soldiers have a longsword and a heavy crossbow. But you do find one of them has secreted away, like in its boot, a magical dagger. So you have, if you would like to use it, a +1 dagger that's been made by special drowcraft.
That's kind of cool.
And just like the cloaks that they all wear, this dagger has a silvery web-like filigree that's worked into the hilt.
Well, you gotta admire the Lolth craftsmanship.
Yes, excellent.
Alright, let's see, Grace, did you find anything about...
Yeah, so I can ask one question, and they can answer it in a language they knew during life, and they answer it pretty briefly because they're in a hurry to be free, and they are under no obligation to be truthful. So
Awesome. Glad to hear that. I want to be clear, like, I don't want to force you guys into, doing things if you don't want to. I just want to make
you
sure
can't
that
force
you know
me
what
to
you're...
do anything.
Great. Just want you to know what your options are if you still want to interrogate people.
Well, if you all want to try to hear what the dead has to say, we can take a chance. Yeah? We interested in communing with
Yeah.
the dead?
I mean, I wanted to find out why they
It's a
attacked.
beautiful, wonderful experience.
Be helpful to
talking to
know.
So what do we want to ask? Why they attacked us, or
Why they attacked us? Who's, what's going on that lies ahead of us? Why are they consorting with shadow demons? I don't know. It's all.
Those all seem like good questions.
Let's see what goes from there.
we only get one question. I think these little spirits tend to float away pretty quickly. So we might only get
why they attacked us.
one quick chance. We all in agreement? That sounds good. Doesn't matter. I don't need your agreement. Let's see what happens.
Then why did you ask?
Crush it.
Right, you crush this silver spider pendant. Its legs fall to the floor.
Tell me, why were we attacked for being here?
You see this spirit come into the palm of your hand that, like, your actual palm almost starts to resemble the face of one of these drow. Who says, "Daughter of the Raven Queen, we attacked you because you ambushed us on the road while we were discovering what it was that made this sound from these ropes. We're protecting our new stronghold up on the surface."
Oh, that's not good.
And then the face in your hand painfully disappears.
Be with the Raven Queen. All right. Well, you all heard that. Lovely, lovely news. So, shall we?
So you have 3 pendants now?
Yes.
Okay.
I have. Yes. I still have one Drowan. I have
A bard.
the bard, and I have a family member.
Great.
Family member. Just for
Okay.
safety.
Yeah. Keep them close.
Gang,
It's all for
you have...
practical purposes, not sentimental purposes. Don't be ridiculous now.
Oh.
You have survived this attack from this ambush of these drow. You've gained a couple of things. Is anybody taking any of their weapons or any of their cloaks?
I mean, the silver cloak, sure, whatever.
Give it to Carl.
I'll look for a map. Do they have a map?
A secret note.
That's a great question. I would say they probably do have a map, but it's hand-drawn. I want you to roll me a survival check. As someone who's very familiar with this region, as someone who drew the actual factual map for it, I want to see if you can recognize in their crude...
Ironically, survival is not Jim's best skill. But he rolled really well.
You did roll really well.
Huzzah!
This map branches out. There are 2 points on it. You're trying to figure out if you're looking at the Grand Duchy of Lords map. Trying to figure out, like, okay, it could be this place, or it could be one of these areas, and then eventually you figure out that the 2 points on the map, based on the road and what surrounds it, they have evergreen as one of the points on the map, but where the whole 18's pretty good. Where the whole thing centers around is not evergreen. It's North March. That's like the center point of their map.
Okay. And is any markings delineate like how they like? Is there any notes or markings, or is it just?
18 is still copper material for how we're doing this.
Okay.
Copper metal. So I'm gonna say that's the most that you get. You can tell that they're currently like out exploring.
Okay.
If anything, with marks, you can tell that they were probably like getting ready to mark down their findings of what's along this road that you guys are currently on, which is the 2 ropes on either side of you.
Right.
That's the most of what you're going to be able to get from this map. It's
Okay.
very crude, it's very hand-drawn, and it's very unprofessional, if you don't mind saying so yourself.
Yeah, it's just kind of...
Yeah. These ain't no cartographers here.
Okay, so they made a handmade map. One of the central point is North March.
How much do we know about North March?
Good question.
Some of you have been there. Last time you were there, it's they have a couple of these like strongholds at different parts of the Grand Duchy of Lords. I can tell you without even having to make a roll that it's essentially like a stronghold that's been made as like it's like a small keep, right? It's a place where it's a protection from invaders from outside of Lords, essentially. There's North March, there's South March, there's what's the other one? East March?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And kind of like a town kind of grew up around it or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It was very similar to what's the one of these that we went to? We didn't go to any of the marches, but we went to
Fort Vigilance.
Yeah, it's very similar to Fort Vigilance.
Are we thinking that the drow overtook North March and made that their stronghold?
I suppose it's possible, but I prefer it if that wasn't the case.
I think we'd all prefer that.
I don't know about all of us. Gives a very pointed look.
Look to who?
Natalia.
Well, Davian, do you want to say any prayers over Carl before we go?
Yeah, I could do that. Hold on.
I don't really know any funeral rites for the land.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Hold on, I think I've got something. Is Carl buried?
I don't know. Have you guys buried Carl yet?
I said I was going to bury Carl.
Oh, okay. So Carl is buried. Probably Davian will go over the grave and say, "This was exactly the way this was supposed to happen. Sorry that it happened this way, Carl. Sorry that we couldn't have changed what happened. But this time, this is what happened. Rest in peace, bro."
A few moments pass. You complete some ritual, I'm assuming. And then all of a sudden from the back you hear, "Right, hold on. Did you fucking know this was gonna happen to us? When am I gonna die?"
You don't want to ask that question.
I definitely do if you know.
I could know, but I can't know right now, so we should probably keep moving.
All right, well,
It could be like if you see any giant like cats or like scary beasts that look like they've got claws and stuff, just stay away from them.
well, listen, I appreciate you paying me double, but I think I'm gonna have to take a. It's gonna be a few hours until I'm sound in the head enough to be able to keep working for all of you. So.
Okay, but we're leaving now.
I pass Carl a flask and say, "It's time to get back to work."
Mm.
Ugh, it's like golden gulp, but it's not the worst shit I've ever had. Pulls out his shovel. Let's get to Evergreen!
That was
And
fast.
you all continue?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fast. That saves me from having to cast a spell. Great.
Yeah, Carl. Carl's always down for a good time. I gave Carl a token now.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see that if anything bad happens, but it probably won't. Everything's
Which
fine.
is to say, it will in like 2 minutes, is what you're saying. Got it. Cool.
No.
You wouldn't assign this token not to show it to us, anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. I'm trying to look at before the combat, Grace, what the survival check that you rolled was. Would you mind just rolling one for me again for navigation?
Yeah, no problem.
I know you guys are following the road, but
Yeah.
there's no good way to tell time in here.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see if you guys know like how long until you hit the next like settlement on your map that you made.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, 15.
I assume are we doing like someone helping her for like advantage purposes, or can we do that? I don't know if we can even do
I
that.
always will pray to the gods of thunder for guidance.
Guidance, great. Why don't you go ahead and roll a d4? Is somebody giving her assistance? I know that it was Brooke who was in the front of the wagon with her. Are you guys changing your marching order at all?
No, I mean we could just say Bruct is giving her assistance since Kyle's
Yeah.
not here to do exciting nonsense.
Absolutely. Then you have a 21. If you roll a d4 right now, Casey,
Roll a
then she has. Sorry, if you
roll
roll
a
a 4
4.
right now, she has gold medal material. Otherwise,
Alright.
she has silver medal regardless.
You
All right,
want me to
Grace.
roll it? Or Grace, you can roll it.
I roll it. Okay.
Ah, two. Okay.
Oh.
Silver level only. Still
Wanted
good.
to go
23
for
is
the
still good.
gold.
23 is still good. You guys, so you can't exactly tell what time of day it is, but you know that it's dark and it is approaching nighttime, right? Like you sort of lost track of the hours,
Mhm.
but you're assuming like, okay, it's probably been like 16-ish hours since we started. Probably a good time for us to take a rest. This is a few hours after you guys have continued marching past the ambush. Is there any more preventative measures as you guys are on your journey until then?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Not from your
Preventative
monk.
measures.
Not from your monk. Are you behind? I will say you do see that Carl, without Carl assisting him, is really struggling to like keep up with you guys now. Like he's really having to put in the work.
I'm helping him.
Okay, great. So the two of you are filling in the plow after Carl is really working hard to like fill mithril wire in and make sure, and then you're like patting the dirt down behind what he fills in. Yeah, Zephyr.
So, if I remember correctly, there was like a possible break in the line is what we're kind of looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And someone
Back at the
was like-
drow, they had like slashed the rope.
Okay, did we find that?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so are we like repairing that and then continuing on now?
You can if you want. So somebody will have to cast Magic Mouth on the rope again because the rope is now 2 ropes,
Gotcha.
right? So only
Yeah.
one half of the rope continues. But I will say, like, you're currently installing the wire, which is the new version. If you guys want to repair it, you absolutely can. The rope continues past this point. Both ropes continue.
Does someone have mending?
Well, mending. Yeah, I mean, I can cast Mending, no problem. But I don't think it restores...
The magic.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the spell can
It
physically
doesn't
repair
restore
a magic item. Yeah, but the spell can't restore magic to such an item. So I could cast Mending on it, no problem, and then we'd still have to spend a level 2 spell slot to cast Magic Mouth on it.
Yep. That makes sense.
But I could do that if we want to.
Ignore that. I was just clicking on it.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, you push one of the bodies out of the way.
But I mean, if we're installing the replacement, then probably what we'll do is we'll install the replacement and explain, hey, the drow cut this. However, it does lead to a different problem. Hey, so what's to stop the drow from just coming along and cutting the new mithril wire that we're laying down? I guess that it's under the ground?
That's why we're burying it, to prevent them from doing that. If you ask me,
Yeah.
what if they dig it up and do it?
That's what I was going to ask next. Yeah, how'd you know? Oh, you must have a gift too.
No, I've just been around you a long time.
That makes sense too.
Anyway, there's nothing stopping them.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Seems like
All right,
there's a problem in the design.
They don't know it exists.
Casey, as you guys are traveling, is Zephyrus still casting message forwards ahead of you guys?
No, I think that was only to see if I can get an answer as we were moving, because the line
Okay,
broke. Now it's broke. I think we're okay.
Awesome.
I don't want to
All right.
announce your presence.
He's tired of talking to presences ahead of us.
Didn't go so well the last time.
True.
You guys continue on for an unknown amount of hours. You can't tell if it's 1 or 4 or 6. It's really messing with you guys being in the darkness. But nope, not Vinifera. Vitalia gets to a point where she stops at the front and notifies all of you that it is not only time for you to rest your axe beaks, but it's probably been 16 hours since you guys have started traveling, and a time for you to rest for the night.
It's a long day.
Yeah.
It's a long
Right.
traveling system.
Well,
All right, well.
let's take a breather then.
My ass is sore.
Cry me a river.
Clinic.org. You say common causes of anal pain include anal access and shortage of glands in the anus.
Is that Suralathria? Is that Suri?
Oh.
Said my ass is sore. Started giving him solutions. Common sources of anal pain include.
Alright, you know what? Damn it.
All right, good game, everybody.
It's a really weird thing. You can't explain it. You thought that the only two sounds that had been programmed into these ropes on either side of you was a T on one of them and a K on one of them, but apparently there's another magic mouth that responds to that.
Yeah, we don't want to have
It's
much to do with
medical
that.
emergencies.
First says my ass is sore, which is the magic mouth trigger, and suddenly a whole list of prescriptions in Suralathria's voice comes up for you. That's phenomenal.
That was marvelous.
That was great.
Oh my god.
That was funny.
Oh dang. Okay.
Okay, I know Brett
Well
has
done,
a 2
Casey.
and who else has sleeping arrangements?
I don't
Okay.
sleep.
Oh, that's true. And the rest of you trans.
Hard elf, but I bought a tent
Yeah.
because it was the thing to do for travel.
Yeah, but Carl needs to sleep. So
Carl does need to sleep. He can sleep under the wagon.
No, you can. You can sleep in my tent too. It's fine.
I'm gonna ritual cast Tiny Hut
Ooh, nice.
Look at you.
and also Alarm.
Very nice.
Spell
Tiny hut and alarm. Is one of those not concentration? I'm guessing alarm.
Well, neither of them are.
Okay, great. Tiny hut's not concentration? That
Sure ain't. Just lasts 8 hours.
Yeah.
busted as hell.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Especially for a one-action cast, anyway.
As you guys are sleeping, is anyone? Are all of you just sleeping because you're in a tiny hut?
I'm not sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got tiny hat.
Oh.
Tiny hat.
Great.
yeah, it's comfy. I think. I gotta check a thing, but we'll stick with the tiny hut for now. But I gotta check a thing.
And we bring the animals, the 2 axe beaks, into the tiny hut. As
Very
well.
smart. What about your cart?
I'm gonna stay with the cart.
Okay.
Dang.
I don't
Dang.
sleep.
No, you staying with the cart's fine. I don't get Magnificent Mansion until 7th level, which makes me 7th level spells. That would we sleeping in style. Is what we're doing.
Yeah, I knew I couldn't let you guys be 14th level for a reason. I just didn't know what it was, and that's what it
Okay.
was.
I see.
Okay, so all of you are trancing. Carl and Brucht and the Axe Beaks are sound asleep. You see your lovely chocobos, which are essentially, dodo birds with. Whenever I hear Axe Beaks, I think of. Do you guys know Quest for Camelot?
Oh my god,
Sounds familiar. Yeah, that's
the
big
chicken
time.
that got merged with a hand axe. That's what I think of.
Wow,
I'm the most annoying character in that whole movie, but still what I think of. Okay, so all of you are trancing. Jim, while this is happening, you hear rustling in the branches around.
What is happening?
While everybody else is trancing and sleeping.
Okay. Let me check my character sheet real quick. Oh, I didn't put my starting monk stuff in, but I do have a throwing. I have darts.
Great.
Gonna throw a dart at it, whatever the wrestling is.
Okay. Make a
That's 27.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Make me a really fast, just a survival check. You do have well actually you would have disadvantage to hit it. Because
so 23.
Yeah, so a 23. With your survival check, all you can tell is that these steps are not human.
Mm-hmm.
There's a weird moment when you hit it with your dart. You hear a body fall to the ground, but it was on the ground, and it was not very far from the ground, the top of it. It was probably less than a foot tall. So you're assuming I probably just hunted something, like a squirrel or a fox or something.
Or a goblin or a halfling.
Or a goblin or a halfling, yeah. You do hear a scream, like a yelp of pain, and a final breath as you hit this thing with your dart.
Sweet, I get 10 HP.
Yeah, you do. Wait, what? How?
Oh, sorry, I'm not
we have
within
a
5
long
feet
death.
of it. I had to be within 5 feet of it, sorry.
Dang.
Are you way of the long death?
I am.
Oh, I thought you were Mercy.
No, I'm
No,
not.
he switched that before he made the character, yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah. You hear a shriek in fear and pain, and final breath.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Austin, after I do that, I'm going to 24 stealth. Because I have a carapace that allows me to camouflage.
Very good. You have advantage on that?
I
Because
do.
of your carapace?
Because
Very
my
good.
carapace.
Okay. Well, there's nothing else here right now to make a perception check against you.
Okay.
So you're hiding.
I'll creep over. Actually, no. I'm gonna wait until people are awake, and then
Great.
I will go check out what it is I killed.
4 hours go by. The rest of you finish your trance. Brucht is still sleeping, along with Carl and the 2 axe beaks. But you see Jim hiding underneath the cart.
Upside down, like attached to the bottom,
Yeah.
like a giant creepy bug.
Blending in somehow.
Blending
Very
in.
tired, but very intense, like he's been there for more than an hour.
You all right there, Jim?
I'm fine. I killed something. 1 second. Now that they're there, I'll skitter over and see what it is I killed.
You go to see it. I am curious. Are you wearing your top hat and trench coat in
No.
the darkness?
No.
Amazing. You skitter over to it. It takes you a second to find it, but you essentially follow the direction that you threw your dart and where it found purchase. You go to that, and you find a squirrel that has been skewered with your dart, which is confusing because you heard this thing scream out. It's currently attached to a tree. The darkness, you know.
I'll pull the dart out and put it back in my pouch, and then I will thoughtfully munch on the squirrel as I return.
Great. The rest of you see Jim return
Good
from
try.
off in the shrubbery.
Apparently, I killed a squirrel, but it screamed like a person when I killed it.
Oh. Well, that's weird.
Fascinating.
Maybe it was like a were squirrel.
How long has darkness been? Do we know, like approximately?
It's been almost 2 years.
Huh. How does a squirrel survive out here that long?
I don't know. I'm not a biologist. Wait, am I a biologist? Maybe I am. Hold on. Let me double check. I'm not a biologist.
Oh, wow. That's really the gamut. Okay, then.
Zeph, that's a really... Whoa! Davian, those are great port rolls.
I agree. Those are some of the best port rolls. Only one higher, one lower. So it's better than that.
Should we dissect it? Let's dissect it.
My nature roll is
Cut it
a
open.
squirrel live in a darkened,
Oh.
like for 2 years without any, how long could that? Is that possible?
That's a great question.
If I tell you, said,
actually,
oh, should we dissect it? And Jim's like,
Zephyrus, with a 23 nature, silver metal material. You start to think about this. You look around at all of the trees. All of these trees are dead.
Right.
All of these trees have died. There's no sunlight feeding them, right? There's a weird... What would this squirrel have been feeding on if there are no nuts that are being produced from this tree? As you're thinking this, you look forward, and about 80 feet... Oh, sorry, that's not right. That wouldn't be what you can see. What's your dark vision?
My dark vision is probably 60. It's 60 feet.
Great. 50 feet in front of you. Deep in, past the, rope boundaries, into the... You see that there is a tree that has leaves on it.
Oh.
There's one of these trees, and you think back, with the 23, you realize you've been passing every couple trees or so is green. Every so often, one of these trees is alive. You're not sure why, you don't know how.
Yeah.
But some of these trees are living.
Really nice to have a druid in this group.
Yeah, if only you guys had a druid with you. Druids would be clutch right now.
True.
you're not wrong about that.
We all know the most powerful type of caster, and it's those with nature magic. And if only you guys had one of those or something.
That's rough.
Like a Spriggan or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be real handy right now.
I'm gonna go up to the green tree and try to poke around and see what makes this one different than the other ones.
Okay, you found something really weird, actually, as you look at it. You don't think this is what's been... With a 23 nature, you don't think this is what's been keeping this tree alive?
Mm-hmm.
This tree, in fact, looks, in a weird way, with a 23 nature, like it was almost resurrected in a weird way. But you do see that it has this weird brown moss growing from it.
I think I'll take a sample of the moss.
Okay, you take a little bit of this moss. It almost looks like fur in a weird way. You know it's not. You know it's plant-based. You know it's natural to grow on this tree, but it almost looks like brown fur. Is that another...
That was just Bobby typing.
Gotcha.
Air trees. Sniff it.
Fucking weird trees, man.
Taste it.
Weird trees.
Yeah.
You taste it?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You put a little bit of it in your mouth. It has this weird, weird taste. It's super cold to the touch and on your tongue. And you feel this weird pain as some of your teeth get longer. Specifically, your canines
Uh-oh.
get longer and
They are weird trees.
they curve out almost like orc tusks.
Oh. That's not good.
Zeph? Zeph, I don't think you should just be eating random things you find on trees.
The irony is palpable.
Did you just eat more of it?
No.
I thought he did too.
Going hard.
I will say, as you're holding it, it no longer feels cold once you start taking a bite.
I don't swallow it, first of all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was just like a
Just
taste.
tip of the tongue.
Zeph
Your teeth
never does
probably
not
do
swallow
that
for
and
strange
curl
trees.
around your lip for a second and then come back.
So I think this can make a were creature.
Then stop putting it in your mouth.
I'm wondering if that squirrel was eating this and to survive,
Then don't get bitten by a squirrel.
or eat the squirrel.
I'm okay. I'm immune to lycanthropy.
That's true, you are!
I am. I'm a monstrosity.
You're also a high enough level monk that you're like immune to disease, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lycanthropy is a disease. That's fucking crazy. Okay.
Is it? I thought it was a curse. It's not a.
Oh, you're right. It is a curse.
It's a curse,
Yeah,
but it
it's a
only affects
curse.
humanoids.
That's right.
That's right, because my nephew was a werebore, and my other nephew cast Remove Curse on him for something else, but it also got rid of his lycanthropy. And he
Lame.
was not happy about it.
You know how hard I work to get cursed.
I liked my lycanthropy. Okay, great. You guys do this. Anything else that happens in the 4 hours that you're waiting for Brucht and the Chocobos and Carl to awaken?
Well, there's half a squirrel left if Vitalia wants to dissect it, like the creepy ass
Let's keep
serial
cutting it
killer.
apart.
Yeah.
So
You know,
were-moss, huh?
Normal squirrel. It's got that big
Werewolves.
bushy tail to keep it from dying when it falls. It's got pelvis. It's got you have the lower half, I'm assuming, so it's got half of a spine. It's a good squirrel. I will say the squirrel looks very malnourished.
Poor malnourished squirrel.
Squirrel.
Did it taste malnourished? Like a little.
Yeah, it was super gamey.
Mm.
Like those muscles are just like strings practically.
It's too bad.
Yeah. Well, be on the lookout for more were creatures, everybody.
Will do.
Yeah.
Question: what does a were creature looks like when it's not being a were creature?
A regular creature,
Not helpful.
slightly bigger, maybe. Just don't trust any creatures, I guess.
You guys, cartographers, before. Oh, sorry.
Just
Ask
correcting your
photographers-
statement.
You, me and Grace keep doing this. You have
No, no, no.
a couple hours to be able to, like, go over the maps and know about how long until you get to Evergreen. Try and find like where you guys are. It'll probably be like half a day until you get to North March.
Okay.
We get to North March. Okay, so we're coming at it kind of like from the northeast and going towards Evergreen this way.
Yeah, we're
Correct.
following.
So-
You're following the road that was on the map.
So on the non-zero chance that North March is the center of the drow encampment, we're gonna be in for some excitement.
Yeah, what's our decision if that encampment, if North March is overrun? We go around with the
I see.
line? I don't think going through it'd be a
Dude.
good idea.
I suppose we'll have to
dude-
check and just make a decision when we get there. We don't know what it's like there.
Yeah,
How
that's
much
true.
of a literal line? Like, do we have access, or is this going to be like exactly enough?
Yeah, is there like slack?
It's a good question.
Great question. I think they gave you enough to get to Golden Fields and probably to Evergreen and probably a little bit extra.
But not like
Around
we're gonna
North
go a
March,
mile
actually.
around a certain location extra.
Well, so let's see. One of the things that I gave you was a cartographer's map case.
Second. Austin,
Huh?
Matt, a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been laying this wire this whole way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's to stop us from picking up on it and saying, "Hey, did you give us enough wire to go around North March if we need to?" Right? Like, because it's connected. It's going all the way back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it
Nothing is
encoded?
stopping. You guys want to keep talking to Melvin? God, Melvin's the fucking worst. All right.
No, this isn't the coded one, is it? This is the hardcore one that we're installing.
Yeah, the one that you guys are putting in is like enough wires to cover the entire phonetic alphabet so that you can speak and it picks up your entire every like sound that you make and repeats it back.
I just had that like flash of, hey, we could like just ask, right? Like that moment of,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to Melvin.
no, that's okay. We can ask if we need to later.
I'm gonna get a drink.
You got it.
Actually, I need to use the restroom before somebody else does, so I'll also be right back. Sorry.
Cool.
Go steal it, Steve, quick. All right, water break.
You want to do a 5-minute break?
Yeah, 5 sounds
All
good.
right, 5-minute break.
But yeah, my speech is done, so.
We'll see if that happens.
Shower.
After. How does she jump in there?
All right, shall we jump back in?
Let's do it.
All right, tell me when you start the stream so I can do my... Okay. Hello, welcome back, one and all, to episode 3 of Once More Into the Breach. When we last left off our party, they were very excitedly making decisions on what to do next, while Bruct and their chocobos and Carl slept. We return to a blood-curdling scene of all 4 of our friends hurtled over a map. What is the decision we're making now about approaching Northmarch?
Well, most direct route is going to give us there fastest, right? Hey,
That
did you
makes sense to
contact- What's
me.
his name?
Oh, do you guys want to contact Melvin?
No. No, that
Great,
was if,
I'm so
if
glad.
we need to. Down the road, maybe.
Well, okay.
You guys do have your cartographer cases, which can help you find a shortcut if you want.
Yeah, North March might be fine.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Sounds good. You guys travel for about 8 hours. Same marching order, I'm assuming.
Mine is
Carl and Jim in the back filling the dirt. Jim's really putting his money's worth in.
we all got duty.
The rest of you are going. Yeah, Zeph, make me one more nature check.
Zeph?
Yeah, Zeph.
Zeph, that's me. Okay. Make a nature check. I can get a 1 on that one.
Wow.
fail. Combo broken.
I'm trying to decide whether what's going on is that you don't see any more trees,
Or he's becoming a were creature.
yeah, no, exactly. As you're looking for more trees, you feel your canines really start to grow, and you're feeling really like itchy and hairy, and suddenly you want to jump out and eat Vitalia. No, yeah, it's either that you're looking hard until you get distracted, and then you go, oh shit, we've been traveling for an hour, and I stopped looking for more trees. Are there more? And so you can't really tell if it's that there aren't any more trees that have been like given birth, or if there is just if it was like a fluke. You're now starting to question if you actually saw any before, and that one with the weird fur moss growing on it was the only one that you saw.
Well, I guess it won't matter until something bad happens.
That's true.
That is true. That is how it works.
All right, you all continue. Scout is the scout right now is Vitalia, right?
Yeah.
Vitalia is the one making nature marks. Vitalia, you do see as you guys travel.
Did we get
One
a
of
long
the
rest?
oh, you guys did get a long rest. Yeah, so everyone mark off long rest.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Vitalia, as you guys are traveling, you see in one of the trees there's something really weird. It's dead, right? But it almost looks like the bark. You know when, like, if somebody, like, carves their initials into a tree, but the tree's still alive, it will, like, keep growing over the carve in that. You see something like that, except without the knife mark, you think. You think that this tree almost has naturally formed some sort of rune.
Okay. I'm gonna read it.
Explosive runes. Ha
It is not in a language that you can understand. From what you can see, this is like some old language.
Okay.
But you say you're gonna read it. It's at a tree, like, 50 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
Are you like walking up to it to read it?
Yeah, I'll walk right up to it.
As soon as you get within 30 feet of it, make me a constitute. No. Suddenly the tree, like one of the knots in the tree, starts to move like a mouth,
Ooh.
and you hear a voice speak from this tree as the tree says, "For all who are wandering and all who are lost, come to Evergreen. Salvation can be found."
Need salvation.
Well, I appreciate the gesture. That's some very ominous wording.
Well, Jim, you say that. You recognize this voice as someone that you know. In fact, this is the voice of your boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maxine has cast Magic Mouth on this tree, under which these weird ruins are carved in.
Right. What and the runes? The runes. I don't suppose anybody speaks the language.
I don't believe any of you do.
Okay.
I
What
mean,
kind of weird cult shit is this employer into?
it's not celestial.
It's not celestial, no.
Is it draconic?
It's not draconic, no.
Is it primordial?
It is not primordial, no.
Any of the primordials?
It's not any of the primordials. It's close to primordial. Anyone who can speak primordial, you're like, there's roots in, like, root words almost. You can't quite. Okay. Davian, you cast Comprehend Languages. I'm trying to see, does that tell you what language it is?
It just says you understand the
The literal
language.
meaning of any spoken language.
No, it says you also understand any written language. You can see what you mean. It must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Got you. 1 second. Sorry, I'm looking something.
Speech.
Did I take notes of that on my... there it is. Okay, this says in these old druidic runes, it says, sanctuary for all, community for all, those who arrive survive.
Those who arrive survive. Okay, so
So I have a question. Was my boss Melinda? That's not her name.
Maxine?
Maxine. Sorry. Was Maxine a religious?
I thought it was. Is it?
Maxine with an N, yes. Sorry, what was that?
Was she a religious lady?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
She was incredibly arcane and very ruled by, more than even ruled by learning magic, ruled by her religion, I guess, would be capitalism.
Okay.
Right?
Fair.
She's
Yeah.
like she's more of a businesswoman of the mines and a businesswoman of World Anvil than she is a wizard even.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Stone cold capitalist. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Capitalism saves everybody. So there you go.
I mean, okay. Yeah. Let's go with that.
I mean, if you're a stone cold capitalist, that's what you believe, right?
Yeah. I mean, that is true. All right. Well, I will. Man, not much to say about that. Well, I guess we're still
No.
going this way.
Something you found along your road, along your travels.
Yeah.
You guys are, now, judging by your maps, eventually going to approach, you hope, or else something went terribly wrong, eventually going to approach North March before your next time that you need to
We
sleep.
investigate that tree that had the runes. Is there any like direction it might be pointing or anything like that? Is it
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead and give me an investigation.
okay? Oh, my character sheet's breaking. Hold on a second.
I'll assist him with the investigation,
Okay, you have advantage in this.
and I'll cast guidance on him.
Wow.
But he rolled a 1, so it doesn't matter.
But you have advantage, because he gave you the help action.
That's right. Wait, that can't be your. Oh, you're a sorcerer. I should have done this. That's fine. This is fine.
Roll a d4. You're only going to find this thing if you roll a 4.
Dang.
Oh,
Dang.
14. You literally just miss it. You're like looking. You can't tell which direction that they're saying, but you know that they say in the magic mouth. Honestly, as long as anyone is standing within 30 feet of this magic mouth, it is repeating in Naxine's voice, "Come to Evergreen, salvation for all."
Yeah,
You
and
know?
we're going to Evergreen, so it's fine.
Okay. Well,
Salvation for all.
And you know that in Druidic on the tree it says, "Those who arrive survive."
supposedly we will see.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Go ahead. We continue.
Yeah, you guys continue on your way. Eventually, a few hours pass. You're assuming the amount of time that half a day contains passes. You know that you should be approaching North March, and you keep going, waiting to eventually see it in the distance. Does anyone want to do anything before you can see North March in the distance? Or are you guys just going to keep heading to North March?
We might take
Onward.
a lunch break, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can take a lunch break. You guys can take a short rest if you want. I don't know if anyone here benefits from them.
I do.
Steve would, but he hasn't used any key.
Yeah.
Anybody got a spyglass? I didn't get one. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We can't see anything.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try to cast a spell. So let me make an Arcana roll. Yeah, that'll do.
Okay.
I cast Hero's Feast.
Hey, very nice.
So, it does this, which I have to copy into the thing.
It gives everyone temp HP, right?
Yeah.
that
Everyone
a
Your
gets...
hit
cleric
point
spell?
actually, your
It is a
hit
cleric
point
spell.
maximum.
Your hit point
increases
maximum
by 5.
by 5, which is not amazing, but it's fine.
But everyone's immune to poison.
Yeah, and frightened.
Cure all diseases and poisons, become immune to poison, and being frightened. Wow. All wisdom saving throws with advantage. And
Very
5.
good. This lasts for 24 hours?
Yeah, just in case North March is a shit show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
Okay.
I'll use my...
The darkness setting wasn't designed for high-level PCs. Nah.
It is now.
Yeah.
It is now. Just wait till we run into in North March. It's the Tarask. Get fucked. Game over.
God damn it, Bobby! Alright. Stop the stream!
Good
Are you
game,
fucking
everybody.
kidding me? I'm ruined! God, hang on. Give me 10 minutes to make a new encounter. No, I'm kidding. It's not a Tarask. That'd be crazy. Crazy. You guys eventually... Jim, you can recognize the road leading to North March. You see that before you get there, actually, you get to a point where you see that some of the ropes are, like, tied together, as people have had to, like, tie on new versions of ropes.
In
So there is...
the mithril? The mithril ropes?
No, not the mithril. This is just the
old
regular
ropes, yeah.
silken ropes that are going out that had the, like,
The
old archaic version. Yeah,
Okay.
the Morse code version. People eventually, as you go, have been like retying. So there is both a taut rope and a limp rope as you
shit.
go. Yeah. So you're getting to places where people previously have stopped laying rope. You continue on. Eventually, you recognize, Jim, the road on the way to North March. You see the building start to come into shape. Before you see that, you see two hooded figures standing outside of the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
As you see them, you can tell that they can also see you.
We must be pretty close at this point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're like 60 feet away.
All right, so I'll say something like, maybe we should not drive right up to them.
Yeah. If you recognize
I'm gonna have that going.
Nice.
detect evil and good. All right. Let's see. Aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead. You do recognize the presence of fiendish energy, slightly. It's very weak.
Yeah. I'm gonna just keep concentrating on that for a little bit.
Okay.
As we get closer.
I will absolutely. I was sort of waiting for anyone to stop me, but if you want to stop me and say before we would get to the doors, I would stop us. You absolutely can, Steve.
Well, I'm not driving the cart, so I'm just, I'm behind a little bit because I'm actually working. But I'm gonna telepathically beam it to Zeph, because is Zeph driving or is Vitalia driving?
Yeah.
Vitalia is scouting. So
It's Zeph and Davian who are in the wagon.
Right.
Davian has also been here before.
All right.
As has Brucked.
All right, then I'll ping Davian in that case and be like, we don't know who they are. We should probably stop.
Yeah, that seems wise. Okay. Let's call a halt for a little bit.
Okay. I'll halt the axe beaks.
Ooh.
Within 30 feet of you. Sorry, so if it's within 30 feet of you, then you don't detect anything currently.
Well,
Okay.
I'll have that. I guess I'll wait till we get close to somebody, I guess, before I start casting that.
Okay, great. Yeah, what's the game plan, gang?
What a great question.
Yeah, well, Jim, you called the halt? What's up, man?
Well, we know that there are a bunch of drow around. Maybe we should find out what's going on before we charge in with our wagon full of valuable materials.
Okay. so you
Somebody go
wanna-
say hi.
Okay, I'll go say hi. Anybody want to come with me?
I'll come with you.
Great.
Turn to Carl. You might want to stay closer to the wagon.
You're absolutely right about that. There's no way in hell I'm joining you on this escapade.
Right. I
Cool.
wasn't asking
Who's
you to.
staying? Hey,
Davian
who's
and
staying
me,
back?
I'll signal if we need some assistance right away.
Okay. What's the signal gonna be?
Never.
Never mind. I'll know it when I see it.
Yes, you will.
Loud. It'll be really loud.
Bruck's gonna stay behind unless anybody wants him to come.
No.
No. No.
Vitalia or Davian, you guys staying behind?
Yeah, we can stay behind.
You
don't
want
wanna-
to get behind?
I'll stay behind. I don't know if you're gonna stay behind too. Davian's
Active.
probably talking with Bellis.
All right. Well, I'll move forward then.
Okay.
You get your hat, Jim. Your
I'm gonna
hat.
I'm gonna ask Carl. Like, Carl, do you have a weapon?
Oh,
Somebody handed me a sword, a long sword from one of those wicked elves, right? So I have that. I don't know how to use it, but I'm holding it like I do.
Oh,
Oh.
it's very easy. You stab a person with it. Good luck. I
Yeah,
mean,
no shit, Sherlock.
I don't like your tone, Carl.
Right, I don't like the fact that you're
And, like,
saying
the-
that there's
the
more
chitter,
wicked
like,
elves
the
in front of
mandibles
us.
kind of chitter a little bit.
You stay back, you!
That's the spirit. And he's gonna turn around and start heading towards the gate.
Perfect. Carl feels a little more confident. Hey,
I meant to ask. If you were like bigger, do you think you would be able to help us sometimes?
if I was bigger?
Yeah.
What the fuck do you mean if I was bigger? You talking
Like-
about... I'm not that much shorter than you dumb fuck. Right, you think that you can talk here and sit with me about you being an elf, being better than me, and being wiser than me, and being taller
Yeah.
than me? I won't stand for it, right? And
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what I was saying, but I was actually thinking about it in like helping you be bigger magically.
I don't need no help from no fucking elves today. He holds his sword out in front of him.
That's really aggressive, man. You need to chill.
Well, you're the one who talked about my height, aren't you, though?
No, your size, not your height.
Alright, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty with you about the difference between my height and my size.
It'll make sense later. Okay.
There's length and there's girth and there's.
The rest of you hear Carl just like muttering under his breath as you walk away and leave Davian and Bruck behind at the cart. Is anybody taking your chocobos?
No, I think the chocobos stay with the wagon.
Chocobos? Those slow old things? No thanks. I'm getting
Okay.
her on mantis power.
Amazing.
1 round later.
Um,
I'll put
So,
on my
yeah,
hat
me
and top
and- me
my
and
top
Jim
hat
will-
and
walk our
Your top hat and
way
jacket, very good.
up to the guards, I guess. It probably looks
Okay.
like.
You, Jim, and Vitalia head up to the guards.
And as I get close, I will use that detect evil and good spell at that point when I get
Okay.
within 30 feet of them.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was much larger. You still
Yeah.
don't detect anything, even at the gate.
Sure.
So, you at a game know that there's some fiendish weird thing in here. And eventually your detect evil and good will pick that up. But you don't sense that yet. I'll let you know when you do.
Okay.
As you get to the gates, you see these two hooded figures, right? That eventually see you approaching. See you raise your arm. Raise an arm in response. Go and unbar the door, and open the door behind you. You see more figures milling around behind them. This is really just a big keep, right? This isn't a city, so this is a large keep that you're going to find yourselves in.
Right. Not to sound like, super racist or anything, but are they dark elves?
They're all hooded. I'll let you roll me a investigation check.
I would love to make an investigation check as soon as I can find my freaking character sheet, which I accidentally closed. Eh.
You can't really tell. They're all hooded. You can't see any features or anything.
Well, in that case, Jim, being the master of diplomacy that he is, will say, "Hi, are any of you dark elves?"
They wave their arm at you, open the door, grant you passage in.
I'm not moving.
I'll go up to one of them.
Yeah. You recognize this cloak that it's wearing. It looks very similar to one that you currently have on your person.
Like with webs and stuff?
Yeah, there are
webbiness?
silver web designs on it.
Oh, crap.
I'm going to say, I think, in deep speech. I don't know undercommon, but I have a feeling they might know deep speech.
Yeah, okay.
Like, who's in charge here?
You want to talk to the person in charge, eh?
Just inquiring.
Absolutely. Right through there. You see that this whole center is like a big walled compound. There are a couple of buildings in here, but there's one large, fortified keep in the center, and they point towards that.
What's their name?
You're welcome to ask them when you get there.
What's your name?
My name
Sareth.
is Sareth Thethriel. No, absolutely not. My name is Seldorl. And you are? And you see that he's actually not looking at you. He's looking at Vitalia.
As he's looking over, I kind of turn toward her.
I will nod and introduce myself.
Do you often let your servant speak for you?
You better
They have
watch your
loud
mouth,
mouths.
friend.
And I don't like to open my mouth that much anyway, so I let them talk as much as they like. They do as my companions do as they wish.
Well, I'd try to give you advice on that, but who am I to judge a daughter of the Raven Queen? Go on in.
Thank you so much. Let's all go.
It's time for your shower.
Do you want... I turn towards Vitalia, saying out loud, would you like the wagon to enter, my lady?
Hmm.
I give an awkward bow.
Oh my god.
Please don't do that again.
Please don't do that again.
I don't much care whether we bring the wagon, but maybe we should at least bring Davian. Well, I suppose someone should stay with the wagon. So I guess, yes, bring the wagon in. I don't know. Why are we
The
asking?
drow turn and say something to each other in Undercommon. Yeah, you say bring the wagon. Does somebody go after and get Davian and Brucht?
I'll go get him.
Okay. You're very
Oh.
quick.
Yes.
You get there very quickly.
Oh, so how did it go?
Well, the fortress is infested with drow, and Vitalia just invited everybody inside. So I'd say it's going pretty poorly.
Yeah, that sounds bad. That sounds pretty bad. All
I
right,
have to-
let's
I
go do
have to
this.
ask, do you smoke weed all the time, or just most of the time?
Oh no, I don't have any weed.
Yes,
I would
because you
like
smoked it all.
I wouldn't mind some though. Sometimes it helps with the visions. I just imagine that Davian, like, the visions go away when he's high.
That's so good. Just some, pipe weed. They had it in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly.
Legit.
Too legit to quit.
That's
Also
excellent.
And we just want you to quit, buddy.
Your friends are worried about you.
Oh, I forgot to mark off rations for.
Oh yeah, everybody, if you can mark off another day's worth of rations.
yeah.
Is it-
Rations.
Oh yeah, it's just more day. That's right. I already marked off one. Dang it, my character sheet is over here.
All right. Well, all of you enter into here. I'm going to put you guys in North March.
Oh.
That's a lot of dark elves.
If you
Sure
don't
is.
mind, here, I put you guys in the center here of this big keep.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to move yourselves, so if things get hairy, as you move past, you see a metric fuck ton of,
Wait, you said
of
we're
drow.
not going to be able to move ourselves? I see.
Yeah, I can, here, if you guys move yourselves in,
I can move my guy.
Oh. Hold on. Maybe I can too.
Where do we want to be?
you're here in this front building
Oh,
that
in
has,
this room.
yeah.
I don't see. Oh, there. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool. There, I'm in. That looks like it's an image of me. Aha. Aha.
I don't know how to move.
All right, I'm
You
gonna
just
get rid of you.
left click on your
Natalia?
name and drag
My
in
name.
your name in the
Eve,
characters
can you move
tab,
Jim right now?
I can.
You can?
like that.
Yep.
Great.
Apparently, I can move you. So there you go.
Yeah.
You want to
Very good.
get rid of
All right.
here?
You are walked in through the darkness, past the front gates, past, you see many dark elves, many drow, that turn and look at all of you non-elves with an air of hatred. There's a hint of true, they despise you, you can tell as you walk past them. And then they look and see Vitalia, and their mood changes. And they seem to let go of some of the tension that's in their shoulders as you're walked into this main entrance. You
Jim,
see...
they're racially profiling us as much as you were racially profiling them.
I have nothing to say that was going to improve the situation.
You're marched into this front hall, absolutely beautiful, lavish, as it was that you remember Jim and Davian, and Brucht also remembers as he sees. But what you don't remember is sitting in this, there's like blue and there's like emeralds that are set into the floor here, as well as many, sapphires? Yeah, sapphire gems also set in. And you see sitting upon this throne that wasn't here last time you were here. There's a throne in the center. Sitting upon it is a drow with long white hair. Looks to you all as you approach and says, "Good day and salutations, O child of the Raven Queen. We welcome you here to our most humble home, but I have to ask, what are you doing with these half-breeds?"
Oh, these are my coworkers. They travel with me, and I appreciate your understanding of them. They're traveling with me.
I see. Incredibly merciful of you to allow them to walk freely.
What can I say? I'm full of mercy.
She's certainly full of something.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What was what?
What are you? What are you?
What am I?
He's one of my favorites. He devours creatures whole. It's really a beautiful sight.
I see, but he's a slave of yours as well.
He is one of my coworkers, so pretty much.
Co-workers. What is it that you work on?
A lot of really boring things, but sometimes it involves finding remnants of the dead, and there's some enjoyable parts for sure.
Fascinating. Well, what brings you here?
Well, we are currently trying to make our way through I've heard there's some strange things going on here with settlements. I would really appreciate you just kind of sharing a little more information about what you all are doing in this area, because we are needing to make our way through here and kind of understand the darkness and understand the surrounding area.
To understand the darkness. Oh, of course, right. Well, see, we were sent here by Lolth herself, and I must say, as far as the darkness goes, the Spider Queen is truly grateful for this incredible gift that your goddess has granted to all of us. And we wish truly to continue to spread her darkness of hers over the surface world, which I'm sure that you can tell will benefit both of our people.
Right.
For too long, these surface dwellers here have squandered the resources of this world. Ignorant bliss in the light, while our people perish living in the shadows.
Wow. Mad respect. That's something. So tell us more about this Spider Queen.
The Spider Queen, Loth. Well, that is our goddess. Well, the Raven Queen is yours. Loth has accepted us when these other races, especially the High Elves...
Well, we don't use that term anymore.
I do.
We definitely do. Know your place, slave. Speak only
Zephyrus.
when spoken to.
I whisper to Zephyrus. Yeah, just that expression, when you live under a rock. That's literally all they've been doing for hundreds of years.
I'm sorry, what was that? Margaret?
Oh, I was just explaining the situation to Zephyrus for you. You're welcome.
Oh,
Apologies. Bow. I don't know. I'm doing a terrible job because I don't know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Well, yeah, sorry. You asked Vitalia about why it is that who the Spider Queen is.
The Spider Queen and their efforts to serve her and how mechanism for spreading the darkness, as
Sure.
they say.
Austin, quick question
Yeah.
too. For those of us who have been here before, I'm assuming the last time we were through here, it was not infested with drow?
It was absolutely not infested with drow. It was also
Okay.
not infested with darkness.
Yeah, got you.
Yeah, North March was a pretty run-of-the-mill. It was actually run by a lot of knights and paladins of Tyr, god of justice. Which you don't see as single one of them anymore.
I'm gonna ping Vitalia. I almost said Vinifera. Vitalia. Too many V names.
I apologize. I don't know why I did that.
And
but
I'm
I
just gonna
did,
pick.
so you're welcome.
Maybe can you please ask what happened to all the people who lived here?
Could you tell us about what happened to the previous inhabitants of the area?
Well, don't worry. We got rid of the vermin. Ran them out right quick. They didn't even see us coming. I don't know how they would. Most of them couldn't. That's thanks to your goddess a lot, giving us this blessing here.
I look at
There you have it.
I look at Vitalia when he says your goddess.
What can I say?
Oh.
The Raven Queen is all powerful.
Yes, and we are incredibly grateful to her for giving us this gift. I mean, doesn't it hurt? The sunlight, it burns, it envelops, it stings, and all those contemptuous colours that have no place in the Underdark or the Shadowfell. Right? They're holy men. Speak of the light, when only we know what true darkness is.
not
Part of
quite
us
so
envies them.
sensitive as to be that fussy about the sun, but the color is pretty garish. I'll give you
Aye,
that.
indeed. Well, it doesn't have to be this way, right? It doesn't have to be this way for us, with our cloaks, our heavy cloaks, and gloves in the daylight.
Okay. Okay. I can see the appeal.
So let me ask you this. As a servant of the Raven Queen, you might be able to help us with something. You see, we're hoping to expand our little situation here in North March. Maybe create an offshoot branch somewhere else here in Lords. We were going to hit Evergreen, but can't anymore. I'm sure you know that.
Tell me more. Did you
Well-
try to take Evergreen?
We've been trying for a hot minute now. All of the vermin in the area, we've been rounding them up to get them ready to attack that place. And as soon as they did finish their pickings off of all the nature clerics and all, we were going to have our way with them. Exactly. They're franchising now. And then that terrible curse hit them. So we're looking for the next best place that we could take over and have be our second base of operandis. Didn't know if you had any ideas.
Maybe the Underdark.
You know,
What's that?
we could
You see that a lot of the drow Drowdavian pull out their crossbows and point them at you. I'm sorry, Maggot. You want to say something else clever?
So
Oh,
we
did I say
happen to
something
be
clever?
traveling.
You sure didn't.
So don't mind him. He's a little bit dull. But as we are traveling, I could definitely scout for you and scope out some potential other locations if you tell us what you're looking for, give us a little more guidance on the area, perhaps.
Oh, sure.
I could report back.
Well, and you see that they pull out something that some of you made. They
Son,
unfurl
bitch.
a map.
Jim actually like
Danger.
his antenna twitch.
He gets frustrated.
He's
Yeah.
like, no, frustration would mean that he'd let it slide, but this is actually genuinely upsetting to Jim.
Oh, you see these dark elf's fingers running his hands across your work as he says, well, Evergreen is the closest thing to us, but we're trying to decide whether to head past it, past their infernal curse that keeps us from being able to get to them all the way down to Eastmarch, or if we trek through the wilderness and go to Somerset. Any thoughts on that matter?
Well, if we head that way, where are we heading again? Which direction are we going?
You guys are heading southwest.
Is
Definitely,
is Zephyrus's thing going off now that he's in whatever room the sapphire emerald bullshit is in?
It's actually not, because there's no
okay.
sunlight. Even though there's
Oh,
light in here, it's not sunlight.
minutes are left on it either because it only lasts 10 minutes. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, that. Yes, that is going on in here. I thought you meant the artifact.
No, I meant the detect the fiendy thing.
As soon as you guys walked in here, you hinted at a brief glimpse of it. Fiendish presence.
okay.
But you don't actually sense it strong enough to be like, there's a full-on demon lord in this area. You just sense that, like, there's some subtle traces. It's like if you were trying to taste pomegranate in a LaCroix, you'd be like, I don't know, maybe a little bit, but not enough to, like, give me anything real.
It's like somebody put a can of sparkling water next to the fortress.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine it probably almost about used up anyways, right about now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're because I don't know what's actually helpful.
What's
If
the
you don't
curse?
mind,
Ma'am, maybe a good idea would be to ask about the curse that they can't go through Evergreen.
I asked about that already. They said they can't do it.
Well,
Probably
maybe
has to do with the tree thing.
they know. Maybe do they know anything else? Trying to
All right.
bow and look at her and not the drow.
I'll go ahead and pass the question along. I'm happy to dig for info.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sorry, what exactly is the question that you asked?
So we're
about Helen?
asking if they can tell us more about their inability to the curse and the inability to
Oh, to get there? Yeah.
get to
Well,
Evergreen.
those people, they don't understand, not like you and I do. Your goddess have offered our people a life without pain or shame. On the surface and away from the Shadowfell, like your ancestors. Right? We want to help continue her mission, and they want to squander it. They found a way to get rid of all of this beautiful darkness that keeps us from sensing the pain on our skin every moment that we're alive up here.
Jim, do you know anything about that? Did Boss Lady does Boss Lady know how to get rid of the darkness?
How should I know? Apparently, the answer is yes.
I feel like that's something we should be privy to.
Well,
Mistress.
These fine people are telling us all kinds of information. Why is she not telling us anything?
because we haven't gotten to her yet.
I'm sorry, who is this boss of yours?
You don't mind anything about that.
No, I do mind,
It's
actually.
a complex web.
In fact, speaking of things that I mind, you know what I mind?
I mind your tone right now.
Well, I mind the fact that your Raven Queen, who gave us this ability to come up here, has not pulled her general back from attacking our people. We're connected. We're in this together. We just want to continue her mission.
I recognize that I'm pretty godly, but I myself am not the Raven Queen, so
I'm
putting
not
that on
speaking
me.
about you. Her general is out there, and we can't do anything to stop him. All that we ask of you is that you inform her that we're on her side. Keep her generals from inciting the violence against us that they have been. Aye?
Yeah,
Look, I'm
I've
just
got
trying to
no
offer
beef
my
with you.
help.
Okay, so if you can help provide us some additional resources on our journey, I can certainly report back to you about which places are going to be the most. In fact, I can even potentially get some more information for you about if there are ways to overcome this ghastly inability to get through to Evergreen, because that I'm trying to understand myself yet.
Ah, will be wonderful.
So, just a quid pro quo exchange of information kind of thing. You support us along our journey, and we'll come back through here and share
course.
the information we've found on our scouting.
I'm so grateful that you've come to us from the Raven Queen. We've asked her time and again for a sign, but she hasn't responded, and now here you are. Hopefully you can keep her general from being so violent against our kind.
The
Hopefully
Raven
you can
Queen works
learn.
in mysterious ways.
If you can tell us what it is that she's doing, that they're doing in Evergreen to get rid of her curse, we would appreciate it. And I'd love to let you leave, but I am curious. Your friend there, and he points at Bruct. That's a lovely cloak you've got on there, lad. Where'd you find it? And you all look and see that
we stumbled
Bruct is
upon
wearing
some carnage, some beautiful bloody carnage, and found some great resources along the way.
bloody carnage. Is that
Mhm.
right? Would you mind describing to me? And he snaps his fingers, and all of the drow in here re-lift their crossbows and aim them at all of you. What it is that you found? This carnage of yours.
Wasn't much left, truly. Mostly blood and bones. But some of these lovely resources as well.
And how many of our men were slaughtered in this way?
What would you say based on the blood splatters? What do you think there? Jim, you're a good numbers guy.
Well, there was at least 4.
There you go. At least 4.
Hard
And
to
you
tell
just...
it's hard to tell after the squirrels got to him.
Oh, squirrels. You think you're funny, do you, mate?
No, I don't. I don't have
The
a sense of
squirrels
humor.
in the area have been very strange. That is quite true.
I'm going to need a deception check from Vitalia.
That's reasonable.
Jim, are you giving her the help action with this?
I mean, Jim wasn't technically lying. We did kill like about 4 drow.
But it was an
But-
assistance.
Yeah,
so...
sure, it was an assistance. Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it to you.
Okay, let me get out of this map. Okay. There I am. There's my that. There is deception. There it is.
Pretty good.
19 deception.
19.
All right.
That's not bad at all.
Is that right? All right. Well, I hope that we can come to an agreement. Or even an understanding. You see, war is coming. You wouldn't want to meddle in our plans, even inadvertently. Your Raven Queen would not be pleased. Please, think about it. It's what I'd want for my people. If this general of yours did kill more of my men, we're not going to be thrilled.
So what general is actually killing your men?
You see he cocks his head to the side?
Should I know this?
You definitely don't. I'm going to roll something really fast. Give me 1 second to verbatim. Okay. His insight was below your deception. Well, if we have an agreement then, when can we hear back from you about the curse in Evergreen?
It depends how long it takes us to get the information. So
Oh, that's
I'm
not going
hoping
to
it'll
work for
be.
us, love.
Well, I don't know what more you can expect of me. And I also think, you might want to talk to somebody about just, sometimes we all need support, even the darkest souls among us. And I noticed that, you're a little back and forthy with the, warmth and welcoming, and then the, fiery and murdery part. It's a little bipolar-ish. I'm not a doctor, but, it's
Says
worth.
says the literal doctor.
Was the literal doctor, yeah. Well, I pray to my lady to help me. And I hope you pray to your lady that she helps you.
As I
I
do.
best see you soon, eh?
I very much hope we do.
Anything else anyone wants to do?
I'm gonna.
Jim didn't rush over to murder someone for touching his map, so
Good restraint, Jim.
good restraint, Jim.
look. There's a lot of dark elves here, like a lot of them, like a
Oh, we'd
lot.
be fine.
This sounds
And-
like a great combat
Sounds like
dodge
a
opportunity.
hometown buffet, bud.
It's
Trust
like-
me, I understand, but I also know that Jim has a job to do, and while he would die happy, he would also die, and so
I mean, we
He's-
can take
so-
out a
he-
quarter
he-
of them at least.
Oh, we
he
could
will-
take a
oh, we
lot.
could take a lot more than 4. Come on, we took 4 back there. That's easy.
A quarter of all of them.
But he will ping
We could take the whole
Vitalia
thing.
and say, like, make sure you tell them about the mithril strings.
Really?
We're gonna bury them right outside their fucking front doors. So.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
We're gonna go around. We're not gonna go right through it.
No, certainly not. Yeah, we're gonna. I think we have enough to go around the drow encampment. It seems.
they might
seems-
not like that, so I don't know if we want to say that, do we?
They're gonna see us
They're
doing
gonna see
it.
us doing
so-
it. It's
All right. All right. Well,
Unless
in order
they
to
don't.
the support of our adventure involves some very simple installment of some just burying some wires. So just don't mind us on our way out. This is the way we were able to financially support this exploration.
Oh, I see. And what exactly is that adventure of yours?
This adventure of ours?
Yeah.
We're out exploring. It's our own the wires, I don't know much about it, but for our exploration, we're out here learning about the area. That's what we do.
I'm sorry, you don't know much about it. Who here does?
That's why we're out here exploring.
I hope you don't mean to tell me that one of your slaves has a better understanding of this wire of yours than you do.
Oh, none of us really understand the wire. It doesn't really matter. It's a means to an end.
Do you want to make me another deception check?
I mean, that's true. I don't understand
That's
the wire.
true. Then give me a persuasion. Give me a persuasion if it's true.
I mean,
Apparently, it's true for Vitalia.
okay, maybe you understand the wire better than I do. I don't have to think that much about it. Let's see.
Again, fun.
I mean, deception's better anyway, so I can be lying. I'm definitely twisting the truth anyway.
I'll allow it. You know what?
Let's
I
just
probably
do it.
shouldn't. Ooh.
It's not good anyway.
That's an oof.
Let's see. Hang on.
You got a 2.
He got a 2?
That's right.
Oh.
Let me see what he adds to it.
Hopefully not 8.
Wisdom is +2 for a Shadow Blade.
There we go.
So he got a 4.
Got him.
Well.
I have a flash of insight into a vision of Vitalia telling a very poor lie, and for whatever reason, this drow wants to believe. I don't think that he just doesn't get it. I think he just really wants to believe that it's true, because it means that soon the Raven Queen and Lolth will work hand in hand for the destruction of the light.
Exactly.
And
You know
also,
what?
it's just that somebody knows what the hell's going on. Like anybody.
Yeah.
Damien, you say that. You see what you assume, what you see in the future is absolutely correct. You almost look into the future of this guy, see him moments after this, and go, well, hopefully I'm right about this Raven Queen being in charge here. You know, like, this guy is definitely in charge here and has been telling everyone, like, it must be the Raven Queen doing this. She's from the Shadowfell, right?
Yeah.
Like, thank God to her. Lolth must be so thrilled with her right now, right?
Mhm.
And so, like, you see him get nervous that Vitalia is here for a second, because if Vitalia slips up, then all of his men will realize that he's
Mhm.
slipped up in a weird way,
Yeah.
right? And so he goes, well, wonderful, hey. I barely understand what it is that the Raven Queen has, or that Lolth, the Shadow Queen, has made, the Spider Queen has made to do most of the time. I can't even remember her fucking name today, so.
Well,
Alright,
you know
well.
what we all take at injuries sometimes. It
I
happens.
expect you back here in 10 days' time with any morsel of information you can give us.
10 days. Well, we'll definitely watch the passing of the sun to keep track of the days.
Definitely not doing that.
You're funny, this one. See, we've had to find a new way to take track of the days, as we've been banished. And he looks at the rest of you elves in the party. Beneath the ground. By the goddamn pieces of shit that live above it freely.
Delightfully deranged. Thank you for this time today.
Preach.
I'm so grateful for this opportunity to talk to you.
One
Yeah.
day, we'll come looking for you. And you tell your lady to keep your general off our backs.
Let that one slide.
All right.
I asked once already. I think my deception luck is running out.
That's right. Damien doesn't have any more low rolls to give this
I
guy.
do not. I use my low roll for it.
You guys do anything else in this place?
No, so
No,
we're gonna
leave.
plant our line and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, this is not a fun place to be.
As you guys are leaving, one of the drow grabs Brucht by the arm and says, "Mate, you best leave that cloak here with us. Thank you for returning it so kindly." Are any of the rest of you wearing cloaks?
Not the spider cloak.
Not the spider cloak, no.
Were we sociopaths? No.
No.
So we're
Okay.
gonna break.
I mean, we did keep them, but
One of you
but-
gave one to Carl. I'm gonna roll.
Well, Carl is back with the card. Oh no, the Carl's with the card is here. That's right.
Carl
Yeah,
is fucking shitting himself right now.
Hiding in
Yeah.
the cart, probably, though.
probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a luck check to see if Carl is wearing one.
What is
Do you
it?
guys want high or low?
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, Carl was wearing one
I
too.
think. Carl immediately takes it off and throws it to this guy.
Okay, smart. Well played, Carl.
That's the play.
That is the play. 100
Right.
OP.
Stands for a second, stares in this guy's eyes, and then steps back. I assume this is what Kyle would have Bruck do, and says, "You're all lucky that Brucht the Magnificent has shown you this mercy today," and unties his cloak as it falls off his shoulders.
Oh goodness. 100% what he would do. Yeah.
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 There would probably be a spell involved too.
Yeah. I cast Disrobe!
Yeah.
Alright, you guys don't go into combat with these guys.
That's good.
I'm surprised. I mean, it's fine. We could have taken them.
I was honestly expecting you to.
Yeah, me
That
too.
was the second most fun we've had on this trip so far.
You guys exit through the gates as you say this. Carl turns to you and says, "Right, what the fuck was the first?"
The murder,
Carl,
or
no, don't
carnage.
engage.
Don't ask her that.
the
What?
you know, getting to see you all go Murder Town.
Yes, when we went Murder Town on the birds that flew by. Definitely not on any dark elves, that's for sure.
That. Yeah, the
We
hunting
love dark elves
expedition.
here.
Carl, shut up.
You get some looks as you leave, but you leave.
All right, we left. Keep putting
Alright.
that
made
wire
it.
down. We made it. Avoiding combats. It's a tradition of this campaign.
That's right. It wouldn't be one of these campaigns without it.
In 10 days, though, you know it's cool. This guy wants news in 10 days' time. By then, Zeph will have fully charged that amulet. We'll just be able to like lightning nuke bomb this tower out of existence. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
The
Very
dream.
true.
It's not
Okay.
combat dodging, it's combat postponing.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
We're just waiting till we're higher
Scheduled
level.
on the calendar now. 10
Yeah.
days time,
We could
murdered the drow.
we could zap them right now if you really want to. But
Yeah, you guys are still leaving the place. You're not too
I mean-
far from the front entrance. You want to
Hey,
turn around?
I'll admit, I was ready to cast Chain Lightning. Like, that was the right setup for it. I'm not joking. Like, I was here for it.
They're pretty good chaps. They've got a
Fire.
point.
Yeah. Blade Barrier, Wall of Fire, Chain Lightning. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, dude.
Good luck.
All
That'd have
right,
been
we've got
fucked.
some we've got some serious bloodthirst in this party. I have to say, I'm kind of here for it.
I'm honestly, knowing
But-
that, grateful for the restraint.
Yeah.
Because I want you to know, you haven't seen the second floor of this place yet.
Oh.
But you all leave! Okay.
Get us out of here.
Anything happen as you guys exit North March?
You tell us, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were keeping our
All
heads
of these
cool.
drow, you see there are tons of drow up on the wall that have heavy crossbows trained on you until you can no longer see them. Yeah, you guys march off.
I wave after we're out of crossbow range. I wave.
Well, probably by the
Uh,
time we're out of crossbow range, we're out of visual range too, because
Yeah, they could probably see me though. I just
Yeah.
wave back to the general direction.
You actually go out of visual range before you go out of crossbow range.
Oh, nice.
So you guys continue laying wire down the road?
Mhm.
Yes. Back
Okay.
to the safe, steady job of laying some pipe.
That's right. Let's lay some
Mhm.
pipe, gang.
Mm-hmm.
You guys continue. Eventually, you're going to need to take another long rest.
Okay. I
On
only
your
use
trip.
one spell slot.
You
I
guys know
guess.
that you have probably 3 more days if how far you have accounted that you've gone is correct.
I'm marking off rations.
Another day's rations.
Another day, another dollar.
Who's keeping watch? Jim, are you going to do that again because you don't sleep?
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
Jim, as you're keeping watch, you hear something that's unsettling to you.
Like
Shocking.
upsetting you.
What?
As a drow, you hear me shout for that. Your maps suck.
You don't hear footsteps. What you hear is pretty far off.
Okay.
But you swear to God, you hear laughter.
I don't like that.
Kinda cool.
You can't quite understand it, but you hear these weird calls coming after you. And then after the laughter and with the laughter, you hear screams. You're not exactly sure why, but you hear people screaming, and you hear laughter. It's far away. It's probably more than a mile away.
Screams and laughter a mile from where we came or where we're going?
A
Or
mile
off the
towards
road?
where you're going.
All right. Well, I'm not going to go investigate because that's how you die. So instead, I'm going to continue hiding by the wagon
Okay,
with a 28.
Very nice.
right. Can you please, my friend, make me a survival check? I'm gonna say with disadvantage because how far away they are.
a 10.
Oh, that's too bad. It would have been a crit.
I have no idea.
You can't quite tell what this is. This is truly scary. It goes on for a while, but it's too far away. You can't make out any sounds. You can't hear what the people are screaming. You just hear screaming. You hear laughter. You hear howling. You hear something that's very animalistic.
Don't like any
And
of that.
then after probably, you're assuming an hour, 2 hours, you're hoping it's not more than that, but the time goes by so slowly as you're just hearing the sounds of slaughter. And eventually it stops.
Okay. Well, I will file that away under creepy as hell, and
The rest of you wake up. None the wiser
Mm-hmm.
to the horror that Jim faced during the night. You see, once again, Jim is hiding very well underneath the cart.
Maybe we should have handles
Morning, Jim.
installed.
why?
I'm just gonna be this. Morning, Jim.
Yeah.
Need
Oh.
some coffee?
Morning, Zeph. I don't drink coffee,
Okay.
but I appreciate that you appreciate me.
I always appreciate you, Jim.
By the way, I heard horrible screaming last night.
Oh. Was it one of us?
I don't believe so. It came
My
from
money's
down
on-
the road
my
a
money's
spell.
on Vitalia.
It's always good to check on Vitalia, because we don't know when she's going to snap.
True.
What do you that?
You don't hear that. My telepathy is one-on-one.
Okay. Telepathy mode convos. So rude.
You were speaking, I guess. Telepathy.
Is that what I have to do? Telepathy?
Yeah.
Twitching antennae? Okay.
We have deep speech. We have gnomish.
Elvish.
We have dwarvish. Elvish.
Dwarvish. Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently
Telepathy. Yeah, I love it.
green telepathy.
Bright green telepathy, yeah. Halfling?
Yeah, I just got talking
Yeah.
All right, what you guys do? You got 4 hours until the Chocobos and Bruct wake up.
Yeah, I mean my 4-hour meditation, or the rest of my 4 hours, usually, listening to the wind, re-preparing spells for my god, and making coffee. Apparently,
You guys could potentially keep marching with
Sleeping
Carl
Bruct.
and Bruct sleeping in the cart if you want.
But then who's going to lay the wire?
That's the question.
Yeah.
You can wake Carl up. You can say, "Hey, 4 hours is all you get."
I think that becomes a
Nah.
Oh.
That's mean. He's going to start getting fatigued. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, Jim can't do all the work. This is the reason he hired the guy.
nice. Yeah.
All right, 4 hours go by.
And besides, Brecht is a mighty wizard. He needs his rest.
That's right.
He's informed us of this many, many times. He needs solid sleep and a big breakfast.
Yeah. Speaking of, mark off another ration. I'm guessing that those fish that you caught a couple days ago are gone.
Yeah, I already. I figured that was just like a 1-day thing.
Great. You guys go through rations.
Yep.
Eventually, you start traveling again. And as you go, Vitalia, you smell something that smells delightful. You sense the smell of blood.
Interesting.
Up ahead, like a lot of it.
Okay. I will share that information with everybody.
Great.
We've got the
Oh man, there's gonna be
sharp
blood.
and glorious sharp smell of iron-rich blood ahead.
That's right.
Okay.
Any hesitation, or are we marching forward?
Marching forward.
What's our
Mhm.
any plan of action?
No planning,
Don't
no
get stabbed.
hesitating, just continuing to go.
You march forward, and you come across the most grisly, horrific scene you have all seen in a while. Truly, other than the blood, there is nearly no sign that there was any scuffle here. All of the flesh is gone. Most of the bones are gone. You can see some bits of flesh strewn around. The bones that are there are broken in half, and you can't find the other halves anywhere.
Dang.
Anyone who wants to can make me a religion check.
Yeah, I can do that. I think I have
Or
that.
survival, I guess, if you want. Or if you want to make any other check, let me know.
I mean,
I can confer with
17.
Davian
invest.
religious natures.
Yeah, investigation.
Yeah, investigation for sure.
Okay, I'll give that a shot. Oh, gold!
Nice.
I rolled high.
On your investigation, some of you are looking. Jim, you see on your survival there was a lot of consumption. You can see with your survival there was a fire that was set that eventually burned out. You can see shards of cloth that you can tell were a tent, right? You can see that there is a lot of what used to be a party that was out here camping. You're not sure who exactly they were. Oh, Davian got your new stuff.
Yeah.
Davian, 25. You see something. This is not just normal splatters of blood. It was until some of them got drawn out in horrifying shapes. Something that you only you recognize as religious runes being made with these with the blood.
Okay. All right. Do I recognize the religion that the religious? Is it like multiple different deities, or is it like one?
No, I'd say that you recognize this is the religion to Yinogu, the god of slaughter.
Cool gods.
I'll point that out to the group.
This was no longer just like this wasn't drow for sure. You can tell this wasn't just animals, right? This wasn't just a group, like two groups feuding. This was primarily. The other thing that you notice is that eventually you're able to find like belongings, and so nothing was like taken from people, you know.
Yeah, it's just the slaughter for the god of slaughter's sake.
Slaughter to the god of slaughter with some sort of ritual drawn to him.
And with that, is there a sense of like what the ritual was to do?
With a 25, I'd say that you can tell this is some form of transmutation. And you can also tell this is something that is definitely demonic, as that's what Yinogu is. He's the demon of slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was. You can also probably tell it was done pretty hastily, like there was a timetable.
Okay.
Do you tell anybody this?
Yeah, I'll probably just like be. Oh wow! It looks like Inoku, the god of slaughter, had a transformation ritual done in his name. That's not good. That's not good for us. It's not good for them too.
Okay. I would like to cast as a ritual detect magic.
Detect magic. This whole area lights up. This whole area lights up with conjuration, with transmutation.
Is there any traces that some of this magic was carried off?
Yes.
And in what direction? Or like is there like a trail or
Yeah, it leads down so you guys are into the woods a little bit, right? You're not too far. You can still see the road from where you are. It's parallel with the road, but still into the woods, down, continuing on your journey towards Evergreen.
Well, let's keep going. Do you guys want to I think we should find out what this was.
How do we do that?
Well, we can follow this trail as I'm like concentrating. And at least for up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Does the trail lead down the road or into the forest?
he said parallel with the road, but
parallel
it's
with the
in the forest, so it's probably like a little ways away.
We can't stray too far from the wagon, unfortunately, because well, we've got a wagon full of mithril. We can't just leave it on the road.
I mean, there's not that many travelers here. I don't know. We haven't seen any travelers, so
Jim gestures wildly at like all the bodies all over the road.
Yeah. Hence, not a lot of travelers, is what I'm thinking.
Sorry, on a 25, just really fast investigation, the little bits that you can tell, I'm going to say you can eventually tell Davian some of the races of beings that were in this group.
Yeah.
You can tell there are some elves.
Mm-hmm.
Not dark elves, but other than that, I'm not going to say you know what type of elf.
Sure.
There's something that you're struggling to identify. You can tell that there is, it has gray skin, has red fur or hair. You can't tell which one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You got a 25. Eventually, you figure out this is a furbolg.
Oh, okay.
And then, also, there are some hooves that you find.
Like centaur hooves or like satyr hooves?
Like centaur hooves.
Or like
Okay.
horse.
Oh,
Goat.
yeah, I didn't even think. Well, it was a creature, not like a humanoid creature, not like an animal creature, but could be.
You probably also find horse hooves.
Okay. The whole lot. All right. I will relay that information to the group.
Well, I'm just thinking, Jim, that if something came and attacked what was here, it might come and try and do the same to us. Better to know what's up ahead and not have it come up from behind.
Well, you're not wrong. Well, why don't we keep going? And if he stays parallel to the road, the better.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, well, we'll see where it goes, I guess.
All right. Well, why don't I follow the trail and you guys continue on the road? And if I run into trouble, I'll shout for help.
So you're saying you're splitting the party? Okay.
I mean, I won't be too far away.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no way you could possibly get lost in the forest in the darkness.
I'll try
Got
and
it.
stay within eyesight.
You can do that. Based on where you're going, you can stay within 60 feet. The rest of you continue down the road while Zephyrus is in the woods?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Jim's busy. He's still
He's still
doing all
digging.
the work.
Yeah.
Zephyrus, the spell's going to end soon, but right before it does, you hear another scream. Actually, you hear your first scream. And it's not very far.
Okay. I think we need to get ready for a battle.
In fact, you can hear that what the scream is. It says, "Help, please! Anyone who's out there, please help!"
It's Seraph the Deathreal.
It could be. It could be anyone. It could be Griffin.
Could be.
I will.
Could be Pennywise.
I think I'm going to shout, "We're coming."
Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Shouting it loud.
Amazing.
with his big boy voice.
The rest of you hear "We're coming" and see Zephyrus run off into the dark?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit.
So-
Okay.
Onward.
Well, I'll run after her too.
I need everyone to roll initiative!
Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, no token is selected. That's right, because we're not on a map right now. I have 14.
Let me put you guys on a map. Alright. Do you guys see that?
I see
Oh
a map.
no, this is where I saw Carl get murdered.
The black circle at the top. That is where you are allowed to place your characters. Carl and Pestilence and... Oh, shit, what was the other one's name?
Family.
Famine.
Famine and Pestilence are both here already.
Okay. So I'm on.
Unless, if you guys want to leave Carl and Pestilence and Famine on the road, you can.
Can you put me where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah, he'd be a little further south out of it, right? Because he was in the forest when he heard the scream.
You want to be like here? Or
Sure.
more?
I don't know. I assume I'd be like off on the road or something like that. Either one of these sides. I wasn't sure.
So where we are, this paved path is all of this is off the road.
Okay.
We're not on the road.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying if you guys want to leave the cart and Carl on the road,
Okay.
absolutely can. They don't have to be in this fight.
Okay. That's fine.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
I mean, I was going to polymorph him into a T-Rex, but we can do that another time. It's fine.
You can do that if you want.
Actually, it looks like I would love to do that, but now that I'm looking at it, it looks like the new form can be any beast whose challenge rating is equal to or less than the target's level. So I can't make weak ass things into strong ass things. I can just make.
That's true.
I could make Jim a T-Rex, which could be fun.
Yeah. All right. So
T-Rex monk. Let's go.
What should I do about the cart?
Little claws.
I don't know where I
Behind.
Leave it behind. That's fine.
Cool. You got it. All right. Let's see how
We don't
much
have
of this.
Heroes Feast anymore.
Oh, you don't have Heroes Feast anymore, unless you guys would have cast it again at the start of the new day.
Would I have? I didn't, so I'm not. Let's just not.
Great. Love it. Okay.
I should have, but I didn't.
I have Zeph in front. I have. All I'm missing is Vitalia.
You are? Where should
Yeah.
I be?
You should be here in this circle.
Oh, I just because I haven't rolled the yeah, okay. I have my token, I just
So here's the other thing. It is 8:20.
Yeah.
Maybe we should leave it here and
I think
start with this combat
That
next week.
seems super wise.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Great.
And then we might have Bruct too, so we'll have a tank and stuff.
Yeah,
Don't need
exactly. Then let's move to clocks.
Clocks.
Do we have to do some
Yeah, we
more of
do.
this?
Can you do that for me?
Yeah,
Thank you.
with pleasure.
Does anybody
Gotta
have any
keep-
clocks that they want to start?
This high res nonsense going.
No, Jim doesn't have any clocks right now. He's good.
Cool.
He's just living his best life.
do we need a clock for when the drow are gonna come hunt us down?
We do.
Want to put one in?
Well, we've got 10 days, so I don't know. Yeah.
I think I want to start a clock.
Yeah, what do you want to start?
The Amulet of Prefix, if I can learn all about it.
Steve, does it take your inspiration to be able to create a clock? Or just
No,
to fill one
just
in?
to
No,
fill
just
one
to
in.
put a block in, yeah.
Gotcha.
Realizing, can I cast Legend Lore? Hold on. Legend Lore. 5th level information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. Oh, that's cool. Oh, interesting. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. I mean, even that is something.
Right, let's see. Let's see if I can do this. 1,
Oh my goodness.
2. Oh, that was terrible.
No, you're doing great.
Just yeah,
Beautiful.
this is exactly
yeah.
what it should always look like.
4. There we go. That's 10.
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
So he's going to get the information when it's all the way charged. Is that what you're saying?
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like.
Not before.
Well, you're 2 of the way down. 2 out of 10. Not bad.
Yeah.
Do you want 2 of those filled in, Austin?
I'm working on it. Let's see. All right, that's 1. We'll finish the second one after the end of the day that we're in. So once you guys long rest out of this day,
Okay.
let's see. Text. That's what I want.
I'll come knocking.
That's right. Oh no, how do I change the size? Oh, it's 200 right now.
Zippy.
Zip zap.
Wow.
Zippy
Such
zap.
grace, such elegance, such artistic.
That's right. Oh, that was for that. I see. Sorry. Hold on. Let me just delete that.
I see. That was for you were creating one that was a 10-day thing for.
It was.
Okay.
Oh no, that's very hard to delete. Oh
Go ahead and
no.
leave it. Go ahead and leave it. Go ahead and leave it.
This is IP Zap.
I'll throw it in another one. The Zippy Zow.
Oh no, it's blue now. Stop! I hate it. It was such a work of art before.
All right, so I'm sorry. Zeph, what was your?
Mine was Zippy Zap.
What's that?
Yeah, his was for learning about the amulet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's honestly the great thing about that is you don't even have to put your inspiration into that one. That one's just going to happen eventually.
Right, but learning before the thing that's going to happen is kind of the idea.
Oh,
He wants to know before he commits his soul to this thing what he's committing his soul to.
Got you. Well,
But the answer is the god of lightning and thunder. So he's in for a penny and for a pound. Like, let's be honest.
Let's just see how many inspirations that I can get Casey to give up into this thing.
Yeah. Zippy Zap.
Okay. Let's
Two
see.
down. Need to go.
Grace, any clocks we want to start? Bobby, any clocks we want to start?
Not for me. My cognitive powers are drained for the day, I think.
No worries.
Yeah, I don't know that I've got a clock that comes to mind right now either. I had something that came up earlier, but I've lost it. It was something about Jim.
No worries, gang. All right, well then we will call it there for the day.
Sounds good. I will end the stream
Yeah.
now.